welcome back to my channel. What I've been doing now is walkthroughs of all the places that I go, and I come across some beautiful places, and I think maybe other people would be interested in knowing the history of this place, where it is, and what I love about it so much, because there are people like me out there who love architecture, history and Scotland and lots of other things. So I came across this place, and it is a hotel. It wasn't originally, it was a mansion, and it was built in 1834, and it is on the shores of Loch Awe, and it's pronounced Ardenassie, even though it's got a G on the end, and it's a category B listed Scottish baronial mansion, and it was designed by architect William Byrne. Now, originally it was a secluded private estate for Clan Campbell, but it transitioned into a luxury boutique hotel, and it was celebrated for its eccentric antique-filled interiors, award-winning dining, and it was permanently closed in 2025. So it started off in 1801, and at the beginning of this video you can see that we went through the gate lodge, and that was built for the gatekeeper, and he was the one who opened and closed the gates for everybody to come in, and he took care of the land. And what I find interesting about this place is you've got to go down a 13-mile single track to get to it from Tinalt. Now that is interesting because back in the day they did not have transport other than horses and carriages, and they wouldn't have had tarmacked roads, so imagine the ride. And it's quite interesting that this person wanted their house so far away from modern day society, if you like, at the time, and it is set so far apart from everywhere else. It's just a world on its own. It is absolutely stunning. Now there's about 1,000 acres that come with it, and you're going to see as the video goes that it contains its own boathouse and everything. But what I found interesting about this is the style. I just think it's absolutely beautiful, and the way that it's been designed, the way that it's laid out, it's all the little details like these plant pots and everything. But I don't think it shows you on this one. I didn't do a close-up of the penny farthing that was outside the window on the other side. And you go around to the other side of it, and this is going round to the back end, and I think this would have been where the staff would have gone through, because this is not the main entrance. As you go around here, I think this leads on to the kitchen and maybe the staff. I don't know where the staff lived on here. Now what I'm finding out as I go through it is that there's a lot more property on the land than I thought, because I didn't see it all. I thought I'd gone round everywhere and seen it all, but apparently there's other buildings on there as well, and not just this house. So as I said, in 1801 Archibald Campbell of Black House purchased the Turvin lands, that's the future estate, from the ancient Inverore family line. And in 1832 to 1834, following his death, his nephew Colonel James Archibald Campbell inherited the rugged 1,000-acre plot, and he commissioned architect William Byrne to construct the manor, initially naming it New Inverore. And then in 1923, Sir Thomas Ainsworth inherited the property, and he expanded and refined the lavish rhododendron Heavy Woodland Gardens. And then in 1947 it was sold to Sir Duncan McCallum, who was a Member of Parliament for Argyll. And then in 1995 it was acquired by London art and antique dealer Benny Gray, who filled the historic rooms with eclectic, whimsical art pieces, gold furnishings and modified Victorian oil paintings. And then sadly, after 30 years under the Gray family ownership, it was announced that the hotel was closing and it would permanently close. So it is now up for sale for £2 million. But considering how much land there is and how beautiful this house is, it is a steal for that. So the style and design is in the Scottish baronial and Scots Jacobean style, and it features austere greystone facades, turrets, and grand formal public spaces like a wood-panelled library and long drawing room. The accommodation contains 16 individually themed luxury bedrooms, and they are named after surrounding natural landmarks, featuring four-poster beds or roll-top baths, alongside a modern glass-fronted lochside boat shed and a private cottage. So the grounds, it said, it now sets to across 120 to 240 acres of pristine woodland and manicured terrace lawns, and it leads directly to Loch Awe, Scotland's longest freshwater loch. It also features a 120 outdoor amphitheatre nestled by the water and access to the private island, which I cannot pronounce. So the dining, it was celebrated for its gourmet Scottish restaurant, and it was awarded with multiple AA rosettes, and it emphasised seasonal foraged ingredients. Now I did find some chanterelles in the ground which I took, so they would have used them. But you can see how massive it is. Now I did miss a lot of it. There's a tennis court there and everything, which I never came across. It was a lot bigger than I realised, and so I didn't get to see everything. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't go inside, because to go inside you've got to be saying you're buying the house, and turning up in my car, they did none straight away. I was just having a nosy. I think what I will do is try and find some photos and put them up, and we will go through them. But these photos were all taken from when the antique dealer owned the property and had it as an hotel, because he turned it a bit more eccentric, if you like. So some of it is still looking like traditional, but some of it's not. But this is the boathouse that I found down here, and you can see that the boat was underneath the boathouse. So I think you could access it from the house itself, and that would take you down into the loch. But also, as you can see, that little island just across from there, they own that one as well. So this is a lot of land, and it is absolutely stunning, and I fell madly in love with it. You've got your own shoreline, so you feel like you've got your own beach, and all the land, lots of food growing there if you know how to forage. A beautiful place for wildlife, lots of trees, and it's just absolutely, it just feels so serene and peaceful down there, and it's just beautiful, and it's the kind of place where it draws you to it. And when I went there, I just wanted to stay. It was so beautiful, and I thought, if I came here and lived, I would hardly ever leave this place. I mean, even things like this, just having a break from the big house and going down here and going into the boathouse and just sitting there with all the glass-fronted view of the loch and just chilling out and just watching the world go by, and you feel like you own your own world. And because the nearest house to it was, well, I don't know, 5-10 minutes away, I suppose, but there were so few housing around that you feel like you've just got your own country even. It's just massive. And like I said, I was there for a couple of hours and I was walking around, and I still did not come across things like the amphitheatre and the tennis court and the other cottage. So there were things that I missed. And there's also another slipway further on for bigger boats. So what a beautiful place to live and be in. And whoever gets this now, I don't know whether they will keep it as a private residence or open it back up as a hotel. But I'm going to put these pictures up now, and you decide what you think about it. Do you like this eccentric look, or do you prefer the old-fashioned traditional look? So this one here is one of the bedrooms, and it looks quite modern. That I kind of like it and kind of don't. I think I prefer the traditional. It looks very clean. It looks very nice, airy. This one's a bit more for me, but I'm not sure about the red paint. But it's got the four-poster bed and the settee and everything. So what do you think? Which room would you choose? This is obviously how it was done more recently. I don't know what it would have looked like back in the day, if you like, but I do like lots of colour, and I like depth, and I like the feeling of luxury. I love nice materials and everything, but I wouldn't. I don't know. I think the red's a bit too much for me in the bedroom. I'm not such a big fan of that one. And this one again. Now, apparently, some of these paintings were originals, and the art dealer that took over the house had them redone and added people into them that he knew, because he didn't know the original people, so they were modified. So that's interesting. And I like things like that because it's putting your own mark on something and making it your own. But the dining room itself, I wouldn't have it set out that way, and I don't really like the colours in there, but that's just my view. And now this one, yes and no. You tell me what you think. What colour scheme would you go for? I think the dark blue's quite nice, but it feels a bit sort of all stifled together. I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of detail going on there. I can't really make out what things are going on there. I can see the staircase starting to go around to the side, but I wanted to get one of a sweeping staircase. Now this is my cup of tea. I think this is gorgeous because it looks more traditional, but it feels very homely and relaxed, and I really like this. It's got that feel of warmth about it, and there's an open fire there you can see between the settees, and when I looked through the window there was a beautiful grand piano in there as well, and I would love to play that. So yeah, I like that one. And I think the next picture that's coming up is the same room but from a different angle. But I think there's 3 lounges, and they're just this is my cup of tea. This is what I love. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Sorry I couldn't get everything in from everywhere because I didn't get a chance, and now that it's under offer there's a chance it's been sold, so I might not get to go back. But I thought you might enjoy it, so thank you for watching, and please come for the next guided tour, and I'll see you soon.